Alright, so here we are, episode 10. Last episode we joined the anti-registration forces. I kind of cut out all the stuff where we ran around the Hydra base talking to people. We're going to be moving into the first mission here for the anti-registration team.
Our people are under attack and need immediate support.
And as you can see, our secret Hydra bases aren't necessarily so secret.
We need to recover weapons. Crucial
I didn't know Cable was 6'8" and 350 pounds, but now I do.
data. Cable compiled.
I didn't know we were developing secret robot weapons, because that seems like a thing we would do, but evidently we are.
Compromised. Get there ASAP.
But since they found out about our Jersey City base, they are
Our intel
going, Iron Man and his forces are going to attack it. And thus we need to pull everybody out of there, break up the attack, and pull everybody out of the base, including all the intel, which I guess is stuck on hard drives or something, because it doesn't seem to be terribly digitized, otherwise it wouldn't matter really where the intel was. So I can only imagine that there's something, maybe we're using outdated Hydra tech and we just physically, we just couldn't upload it or whatever. Or maybe the internet's being watched. I mean, I'm not really sure what to say here, but as we get into the fight, as the anti-registration forces here, we're going to be fighting our way through the attacking forces to get to ultimately wind up where Cable is. If you were on the registration side with Iron Man, you would have to, you would basically be the attacking forces and you'd work your way from the outside of the base into the base to capture Cable, whereas we're basically going to be trying to rescue Cable. You know, our team right here, again, this is for the purposes of opening up more costumes, so I'm going to be Iron Fist for the majority of this level, and characters with me, I think give me either a Secret Avengers or New Avengers bonus, but we've got Cap, Luke Cage, and Johnny Storm. So the Human Torch in this game, as in the last Ultimate Alliance game, kind of one of the characters I would describe as overpowered, but also, like the Hulk, very flimsy. And I'm just knocking things around in order to pick up more experience and more health. You can see that we had lemons in the storage area, which is nice. And so we're Iron Fist. Now, Iron Fist's powers in this game are two types. There's the combat related moves based on the fact that, you know, he is the immortal Iron Fist. But Iron Fist is also really the only medic that exists in the entire roster. So if once you have the ability to use Iron Fist in any particular situation, he's not a bad idea to have along for that reason. Sure, you can heal with using fusion attacks, and there should be opportunities to do that most of the time anyway.
Get onto the boat. Shield's trying to destroy
But
the equipment. We don't have much time.
But having Iron Fist around allows you to
Grab the explosives and get
utilize utilize his healing abilities just in case you might need them. So now we're trying to get rid of bombs and from blowing up our cargo, even though I don't think we're going to be here long enough to take advantage of our cargo.
Hurry! Get the explosives off the boat.
So one thing that you won't see in this playthrough, and since we're being Iron Fist, is worth bringing up, is the DLC. There was there was an expanded version of the game, introduced some more characters, allowed you to be Carnage, Magneto, Juggernaut, and I want to say somebody else.
Impressive.
Okay, blowing ourselves up evidently works. But I don't have that, so we're not gonna do the expanded stuff.
Of course, Cap. I'll stay here and hold off S.H.I.E.L.D. while you support the base.
I didn't want to do the expanded stuff, or I'm not gonna be able to do that expanded stuff. But one of the teams that you can form based off of the DLC is the Maximum Carnage team, which is basically using any characters that were in the Spider-Man 90s comic series Maximum Carnage on the same team. And so it's the only way to get Iron Fist, it's the only way to get Spider-Man, Venom, and Captain America on the same roster with a bonus. And your logical fourth in that group, would be Iron Fist because of his abilities to heal. So we pick up Spider-Woman. For those not familiar with the comics, Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, not to be confused with the other various people who have worn the mantle and different costumes of Spider-Woman over the years. Jessica Drew has been everybody's favorite secret agent. She's been a Hydra agent. She's been a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She was a member of the New Avengers, or until it was discovered that she wasn't because she was being impersonated by the Queen of the Skrulls. Her powers aren't like those of Spider-Man. She has the Venom Blast that's not too unlike what Miles Morales would later have. But she also has the ability to use pheromones to overcome men and give her kind of a little bit of mind control over them. But she was playable in Ultimate Alliance 1. She's not playable here. And if you were to choose the registration side, then the person who would come and help you in this level would be Black Widow, and you would have to fight Spider-Woman. Okay, so there we go. We're going to need to do a little bit of healing here. Alright, and we're back at full strength, and we can try to get our way past these guys.
All unregistered combatants are ordered to stand down.
Just while we are still being Iron Fist, in the actual Civil War comic, Iron Fist was not a player because Danny Rand at the time was pretending to be Daredevil in order to protect Matt Murdock's identity, which had been revealed by that point. So one of the way that Matt Murdock was trying to prove he wasn't Daredevil was to have Danny Rand run around as Daredevil for a little while. So having Iron Fist participating like this may not be incredibly accurate, but again, it requires probably a little bit more knowledge about the comics than I have. I do know they played with the idea of Danny Rand pretending to be other characters in several media, including the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon show where Danny Rand pretended to be Spider-Man in order to keep people in the dark to the fact that Peter Parker was actually Spider-Man. All right, so we're getting.
Registration Act, we are authorized to use deadly force.
So we're working our way in. We've got a couple of fusion attacks saved up. Whenever we run into a boss level fight, we've got another helicopter up here. Obviously, if you're fighting a helicopter, you'd rather be a character who is immune to flamethrowers. And so if you're wondering why the Human Torch was in our party, other than just to get a team bonus, because again, I think this is the Secret Avengers team. Yeah, maybe that one helicopter kind of justified him being here. He's also the closest thing we've got to a distance fighter in this team, in this crew. Everybody else is basically a melee fighter, although I know Cap can throw his shield around and it's bouncing around right now.
You've achieved nothing but disharmony. You're not slaying this dragon.
So, you got that going on. We got Iron Fist and Luke Cage in the same party, so we've got the original Heroes for Hire. I'm not exactly... Heroes for Hire, I guess, I'm not... Again, this is... I have a limited knowledge of the comic books these guys are from, and I know that these two guys worked together in Heroes for Hire, and it was sort of a neat little Enter the Dragon kind of song and dance and relationship between the two, and that they're basically ever since best friends. But Danny Rand is also like a millionaire, so the idea he would need to work for money, I mean, I could buy Luke Cage needing to support himself in some way. In fact, there's a story about how Luke Cage went to Latveria because Dr. Doom hired him for $200 and didn't pay him, and then he went and beat up Dr. Doom just to show him what's what. And oh, we've lost Iron Fist for about 10 seconds. Now he's back. And we're going to go back to just punching people and forcing them to go halfway across the room. There we go.
Yes, but was it art?
And then we've got just the guy with the shield left, so if I can find a moment to get him... Nope, there are still more enemies. Never mind.
I hope you find peace.
There's shield, dude. Okay. Yeah, I'll just punch you in the back while you're fighting those guys. Up, now he's in the front and immune to all of our punches and kicks. Ah, not anymore.
I need to fall back. You seem to lack
Yeah, this little gorge right here, not a great place to fight from, I would think. So I'm just going to heal Luke Cage and Johnny Storm and Cap while they keep doing this. And at this point, I'm not just doing it
Iron Fist
for the usefulness of healing.
every time.
Alright, I'm also trying to unlock Iron Fist's other boost,
You seem to lack
which requires me to heal people like 50 times.
I'm down with that.
But I have unlocked Iron Fist's other costume by killing my 50th enemy as Anti-Reg.
I don't answer to the man. You should have listened to Cap.
Alright. Luke Cage and Iron Fist, part of the Defenders lineup in the, the old Netflix shows that have, ever since Disney Plus became a thing, those kind of disappeared. And, it'll take some time, but Disney will eventually get the rights to make shows with those characters again if they want to. Alright. Well, yeah, I could use the mines to hit the helicopter. Or, I could just try to hit them with the Human Torch's power, particularly when it uses the close-up flamethrower.
Target the one in the back.
I was really pleased about finding out that this helicopter had a flamethrower, because I didn't remember that from my first playthrough. Alright, so this is how they're going to break through our defenses. They've used War Machine's suit to power up Bishop to create a hole. And now Black Widow is going to stand in our way.
But this is just lunacy.
Black Widow movie coming out not too far from now. I think, you know, sometime in the spring.
Being asked to sign a piece of paper, that is not what I'd call oppression. Regardless, I can't let you go any further. I don't want to
So-
hurt you, but you're giving me no choice.
Here she's going to try to take on four heroes by herself. And again, if you were in the pro registration version of this battle, I think Bishop would be escorting you at this point. And you'd be fighting Spider-Woman instead in order to get through that door. So, you know, in this game, Black Widow is thoroughly pro-reg. In the MCU movie Captain America Civil War, now she's picked up some reinforcements to kind of divide our attentions and whatnot, but we're just going to keep punching people. In Captain America Civil War, of course, she chooses Tony's side at the beginning of the movie, but ultimately allows Steve to go to Siberia with Bucky, and then is forced to go on the run so that she's on Steve Rogers' sort of secret Avenger team.
Did you honestly think
by
you'd
the start of
rely on
Infinity
your
War.
own Reinforcements, Natasha? Your biggest weakness is your overconfidence. I could easily say the same thing to you, Jessica. You can't win this war. Time will tell.
So
Black Widow security override.
Black Widow has a special dialogue when she's hanging around the base with Daredevil from their relationship in the comics. Maybe we'll talk more about Daredevil if we use him as a character. Right now we're using Luke Cage. And we're about to go charge in to stop Bishop's attack on our own base. And we're kind of stuck in this room. No way out. I mean, no way to go back to look for stuff. If there was a collectible that we missed or something like that, you know, we're kind of committed to going in the door here